Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the journey of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam towards Taif. For 9 years since his selection by Allah for his mission, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had been delivering the message of Allah in Makkah and making all out efforts to guide and reform his community, excepting a few persons who had either embraced Islam or who helped him though not accepting his creed. All the rest in Makkah left no stone unturned in persecuting and deriding him and his followers. His uncle Abu Talib was one of those good hearted people who helped him in spite of his not entering into the fold of Islam. The following year, on the death of Abu Talib, the Quraysh got a free hand and therefore accelerated their sinister pursuit without check and hindrance. At Taif, the second biggest town of Ijaz, there lived Banu Taqif, a clan strong in number. The Prophet ﷺ left for Taif with the hope of winning them over to Islam, thus giving quarter to Muslims from the persecution of the Quraysh and also establishing a base for the future propagation of Islam. On reaching Taif, he visited the three chiefs of the clan separately and placed before each of them the message of Allah and called upon them to stand by his Prophet ﷺ side. Instead of accepting his message, they refused even to listen to him, and notwithstanding the proverbial Arab hospitality, each of them treated him most contemptuously and rudely. They plainly told him that they did not like his stay in their town. The Prophet ﷺ had expected a civil, even a cordial treatment and due courtesy in speech from them, as they were the head of the clans. One of them sneered, "Hey, Allah has made you a prophet." The other exclaimed with derision, "Could Allah not lay his hand on anyone else beside you to make him his prophet?" The third one jibbed at him, "I do not want to talk to you, for if you are in fact a prophet, then to oppose you is to invite trouble, and if you only pretend to be one, why should I talk with an impostor?" The Prophet ﷺ, who was a rock of steadfastness and perseverance, did not lose heart over there from the chiefs and tried to approach the common people, but nobody would listen to him. Instead, they asked him to clear off from their own town and go wherever else he liked. When he realized that further efforts were in vain, he decided to leave the town, but they would not let him depart in peace and set the street urchins after him to hiss, to hoot, to jeer at, and to stone him. He was so much pelted at with stones that his whole body was covered with blood and his shoes were clogged. He left the town in this woeful plight. When he was far out of the town and safe from the rebel, he prayed to Allah thus: Allahumma ilayka ashku zuhfa quwwati wa qilata hilati wa hawani ala nasi ya arhamur rahimin anta rabbul mustadafina wa anta rabbi la min takilni ila ba'ini yatajahamuni am ila aluhum malakathu amri in lam yakun bika alayya ghazabun fala ubali walakin afiyatuka hiya awsahu li awzu binuri وجهك الذي أشرقت له الظلمات وسلها عليه أمر الدنيا والآخرة من أن تنزل بغضبك أو يحل علي سكتك لك الأتباع حتى ترسى ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بك. The heavens were moved by the prayer, and Jibreel alayhi salam appeared before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, greeting him with Assalamu alaikum and said, Allah knows all that has passed between you and these people. He had deputed an angel in charge of the mountains to be at your command. Saying this, Jibreel alayhi salam assured the angel before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The angel greeted the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "O Prophet of Allah, I am at your service. If you wish, I can cause the mountains overlooking this town on both sides to collide with each other, so that all the people therein would be crushed to death. Or you may suggest any other punishment for them." The merciful and noble Prophet ﷺ said, "Even if these people do not accept Islam, I do hope from Allah that there will be persons from among their progeny who will worship Allah and serve His cause. Behold the conduct of our noble Prophet ﷺ, whom we profess to follow. We get so much irritated over a little trouble for a mere abuse from somebody that we keep on torturing and taking of revenge throughout our lives in every possible manner. Does it become people who claim to follow the magnanimous Prophet ﷺ? Look, even after so much suffering at the hands of the Taif mob, he neither curses them nor does he work for any revenge, even when he has the full opportunity to do so. I hope we can follow his example and do as he does. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum.